it's a great summit. I think that the theme itself, I loved it. Resilience, reset. I think it's very important coming out of the last 2 years that the entire startup ecosystem, especially growth state companies, are realizing that the only way to grow is to first become resilient and sustainable, and that can be achieved only by becoming profitable. So I'm very happy with the summit, and I like the sessions as they are playing out. I think that my stint as a student, as a master's student at Stanford, as well as my stint as a product manager at PayPal, both were very instrumental in my decision to move back to India and to do a startup of my own. I think I got immense opportunity of learning and applying my learnings in the product space, in the fintech space, first in the Silicon Valley by virtue of working with PayPal. And PayPal was a very fast moving company at the time that I worked there. And I think after doing more and more challenging product launches, launching new countries, I realized that I wanted to do something even more impactful. And what that meant is to go after a large market and build something from scratch. And that's what sparked my interest in moving back to India and figuring out that how far behind are we. This I'm talking about in end of 2008. How far behind are we in digital payments, in digital financial services, and can I be a part of the digital payment or fintech revolution that will happen in India in the next decade? And I'm quite glad where we are today, and I would definitely feel humbled that I had the opportunity to be a part of this fintech revolution that India has seen in the last 10-15 years. Firstly, the ecosystem is very different than what it was 10-12 years ago. I think a lot of resources have happened. The national understanding of entrepreneurship and startup itself has improved thanks to the shows running on various general entertainment platforms. And so it's okay, and it's interesting, and it's a growth opportunity to work for a startup. There was a time when people didn't want to leave companies like Infosys and TCS to join startups. So that has happened. Secondly, as consumers, Indians are using startup products every day, from ordering groceries to food to medicines. Tech startups are playing a role in the daily life of most Indians. So acceptance is there. So thirdly and most importantly, scale is there. Now we have a good 300-400 million Indians that are actively transacting on all the consumer internet platforms. That all was not there. When we started, India had about 20 million internet users. So the user base was very small. The acceptance of internet products was very low, not just from the end consumers, but also from ecosystem, like in our sector, banks, government bodies, etc. All of that has improved. So many more licenses have become available from RBI, SEBI, etc. in the fintech space, as an example I'm saying. And largely and quite importantly, I think the capital pools have also become easily available. So the seed ecosystem in India, the early stage ecosystem in India has evolved 10x, 20x as compared to where it was when we began. So it's a great atmosphere, it's a great time to start. I think in the early years, it was easy to create trust because people had never seen any products from tech platforms. So when you created a product, trust was built on the experience of the product. So if you did a payment and if it went through successfully, people trusted you to try the second payment, to try a third type of payment. Now, what has happened is that in the last 5 to 10 years, so many companies have come in the fintech space. Fintech India is, of course, the third largest, market. And of course, not all companies have done it right by customers. So frauds have happened, scams has happened. So the, companies who are trying to do things honestly have to work harder to build and retain the trust that the consumer has with them, because financial education in India is not so good, as in people are not so savvy. So scamming, phishing, all of that happens very easily, and so fraud happens. But I think overall, if I look at the number of users that are investing today, that are insuring themselves, that are using credit products, that are paying daily life payments, I think that number stands today at a very healthy 300-350 million Indians. And I think that is a good achievement. I think the next 10 years, this market is going to explode even further. It's going to 2x or more. So there's a lot of runway for growth. I think FinTech India is an infinite TAM opportunity.